Hello all, welcome to TechTrapture. So in this one more amazing video, we are going to automate PDF translation with cloud functions and Google Gemini. Okay. So here we are going to create a small data pipeline where we'll be using AI as well. So let's say I have one requirement. Okay. So let's take an example. I have a French client. Okay. And there are multiple files coming to my client location across the world. Okay. So there are some files coming from India, there are some files coming from Germany, and there are some files coming from Sri Lanka and multiple countries. I just give some example. These all files are in PDF format and they are sending the files in their regional language or English, but my client want all these language should be translated into the French only, and at the end, all file should be in the French language. Okay. So now it doesn't matter what is the input language. My client don't know all the language, so they just don't care about what language the documents are, but their target language or the language where they need a translation is French. So they don't care if the input file is coming from Hindi language or coming from Tamil or German or English, they don't care. They just want everything to be translated in the French language and loaded for their processing. Okay. So this is the simple requirement and how we are going to fulfill this requirement using Google Cloud that we are going to see in this video. Okay. So this is small architecture diagram here. So what we are going to do, so we'll put file in a bucket here. So users will be uploading files to the storage bucket, and we have one bucket called like source bucket. Once the file is uploaded into the source bucket, it will trigger the cloud function. My cloud function will then contact a Google Gemini API and it will give the input text. It will ask Gemini, okay, this is my text. I just need a translation of this text into French language. Then Gemini will provide output the translated text, and then we'll create a new file with a French language and load it to the destination bucket. So that is our simple data pipeline where we are integrating Gemini in this project. Okay. So let's see how we can do that. Okay. So now first I will go to Gemini Vertex AI Studio and I will show you how we can use a Google Gemini, or there are multiple models, how we can use them for translation purpose. I will just walk you through a Vertex AI first, and then we can go back to a coding part where I will show you how we can create a simple Python code, how we can create cloud function code, and how we can deploy our cloud function, and how we can test it if it is working fine or not. Okay. So let's go to the Google Cloud Console now. And in my Google Cloud Console now, let me just zoom in bit. Okay, hope this is fine now and visible. So let me just go to Vertex AI. I'll go to Vertex AI. This is a Google's ML platform or AI platform. All the services related to AI and ML are in the Vertex AI platform. So we'll be using a Vertex AI Studio where multiple pre-built models are there, and we'll be using that pre-built model. I already have a lot of videos and project on using Gemini and creating the different application, different chatbots. That already videos are available in my generative AI playlist. You can watch them. But in this video, we'll be using this translation. So I will just go to the translation in Vertex AI. Okay. Now this is kind of a simulator where we can check the capabilities of the Vertex AI. So this is Vertex AI Studio. Now let's say here you can give the input text. Okay, I'll just select this input text. Or here, suppose I want to convert English into French. And this is my English prompt, whatever I am giving. Hope you can see at the bottom. So this is my English prompt and that I need to convert into the French. So here I'm just giving the prompt right side. I'm choosing the model. So there are multiple models. First I will choose only translation LLM. Okay. And I will submit. So it will give me the code which is translated, not a code, uh, the output which is in translated. So now this is in the French. Okay. So let me change the language now. So suppose I want to convert it into Hindi. Okay. Let's submit. So it will just translate. So this is very difficult to understand in Hindi, but yeah, it will translate your input in any of the language. Okay. So here there are a multiple models. So I'll do it using a Gemini Flash. Gemini is having generative capability as well as translation, but this translation will have only for a translation. So let me just do it for Gemini 1.5 Flash. Okay, I'll choose the region and all these things, and I will give the same things. I'll just change the language. I will just select Italian and I'll just submit. So it will give the response in Italian. If I choose, let's say I choose something like we have it. No language we have. I'll just choose a Greek. Let's say. Okay, so it converted into the Greek. So it will convert in any, even our Gemini model will convert and have that translation capability. Now this is what we are doing in our Vertex AI Studio, but how to create a code from this. So in Vertex AI Studio, it is a very easy. You don't need to write a lot of code from your side. If you go at the right side here, you will see a get code button. I'll simply click on get code. I will get a code. Before that, I'll just delete all this prompt and I'll keep the default. Okay, and now I'll go to get code. So here is your code. Okay, you just have to copy paste and run. I'll show you how to run that. So already I have a couple of files. So let me open my VS Studio. I have a VS Studio open here. So I'll just show you. So this is my code. So the same thing. I'll go step by step. Okay, so do not worry. So I have to just copy paste the code and paste it. I'll just copy paste this code. Okay, I'll remove my older code if you want. I'll paste it here. Okay, I'll save it. Okay, so this is my code now, and I can simply try running this, and let's see what will be the output. What this code is doing, so whatever we are doing earlier from the Vertex AI Studio, the same thing it is doing using the Python. So this is using the same model. This is the prompt. You are an expert translator and you are asked to translate what we are doing here. So which language it is using, let's see. Okay, so here you can see HI means Hindi English to Hindi. So let me try to execute this code. And it should give us an output. Okay, so it on terminal it will not show correctly. You will see some characters. If you copy paste somewhere, okay, so it will show you it is translated completely. Okay, so it already working fine with our code. So now this is a sample. Now I just don't want to give it manually. What I just want my file from the storage bucket needs to be translated here. Okay, so I will do one thing. So I will create one bucket and I will keep file there. I already have one code created here. I will just walk you through the code because earlier I faced a lot of errors and I resolved all that. I'll provide you all these codes. No need to worry about that. And I'll show you how it translate a file from a GCS bucket. So I'll execute it from code locally here first. A couple of things, if you are getting error while running code from your local system, few things to remember. First thing, you have to install these dependencies. Okay, you have to execute this pip install and also gcloud auth application default login, else it will throw you an ADC error like your application default credential is not set up or did not find any credential. These kind of errors you will face. I'm able to execute, but my Google account is set up in my local. You can check that gcloud auth list and it will show you my account. So this is set up currently, and that's why it is using my credentials. So whatever I can access from my console, I can access from my terminal. Second option, you can use a service account. But if you are testing it in your development environment, testing it locally, then this is the best option. You don't need to manage any kind of permission, and it will by default use your own permissions. Okay. So let me go to the console and create one storage bucket. So let me open the duplicate tab first, and then I'll go to cloud storage and create a bucket there. First, we'll test locally with one bucket. So we'll keep the file in the same bucket and try to see if it is converting or translating the text into the French or any other languages. So as I'm checking example here as a French language and want to convert everything in the French. So let's see. Let me go to the cloud storage. So let me check what bucket name I used earlier in the code so I can try to keep the same bucket or I need to change here as well. So here we need to pass two variables, bucket name and file name. Okay, so I will give the bucket name something which can start with A. So we can see the bucket at the top. Okay, so I'll just give to keep it alphabetically up. I'll just give the name something like AA. We'll just keep AA and then translate source. Okay, so this is the bucket name I'm giving. Let me continue. We'll keep single region. Continue. Just create this bucket and I'll just change the bucket name in code as well. For file name, I have one sample file, so I'll just change to sample.pdf. I'll show you the sample file as well. So if I go here in downloads, I have this. Okay, let me rename this to sample. Just show you the content of this file. So this is the one line I put here for reference. I will translate complex files as well. Just for first demo, I will show you with the one liner. Okay, so this is one line in English, and then I'll try to convert this into the French. Okay, with my code. So let's close this. Okay, so let's just go here. Now we have a bucket, and now as soon as I execute my code, it should translate my file. Let me just show you the code as well. What I'm doing here. So in earlier code, we just copy pasted from the Vertex AI Studio and we are just doing the simple translate. Now, as we are doing the file, we are first reading the file from the storage bucket. I have one function here which will download the file from the storage bucket and read that file. Okay. So here it is the reading the file and it is this function is returning the PDF text. Now I will just translate this file. Okay. So this is my main function where Gemini model is here which is translating this to Hindi. So I'll just change it to French. Okay, and this is translating my text, and then I will upload the file to the storage bucket. Okay. So this is my code here. So let's see how we can do. I'll just so this will only here we are not uploading file back. Okay, we are just translating. We are reading the file, and the output will be on the terminal again. So then in the next step we'll try to upload the file again. So I'll just run. Okay. So it will just throw an French message here, which is the translated output. So I'm running my local and my laptop configuration are not much good, so it will take 2 seconds, else it will be very fast. Let me check some error here. Yeah, we haven't uploaded the file yet, right? So we have to upload the file here first. Just upload the file. We'll just upload the sample PDF here and it will read this file and translate it in our terminal. Okay. So I'll just showing the step by step. and making the code changes so you will understand. Now let me run it. Okay, now you can see the translated text. Now let me try to translate in Hindi. Okay, so it will translate in any language. It is based on your prompt. So let me just translate again to Hindi. So it will give us output in Hindi. It gave output in Hindi, and again it will be same message. It will just not display well on terminal. Yeah. So this way you can just read the file and translate from GCS. Now our requirement is we don't want it on terminal. We want to upload as a translated file in the storage bucket. Okay. So we have the upgraded code where it will handle the code upload part as well. So let me copy this bucket name and file name, and I will go to the next file. So here I'll just show you again. So we have the same two function, reading the file, translating the file, and we might be having, so we'll have additional code to upload the file again, which is translated. So this is the create PDF, and it will translate and then put into the GCS bucket. We have additional function now. I'll just change it, okay, and I'll just save it, and let me see again. So here what I am doing, I'm just changing the file name as a translated underscore PDF. I'll show you. So the latest file name will be translated and the original file name. So our translated file will be translated underscore sample PDF. So let me execute the code now. So this will be, the file is different. Translate and upload. It should create new file on the storage bucket now. Let me refresh. Yeah, so it is converted this English into translated sample. Okay, so let me open. So see, this is the translated one. So this will again, now our code is bit better now. So what it is doing, so earlier code, so the first translate.py only translating the text message and giving us a translated output. In second, we started reading the file from the GCS bucket and printing the translation on the terminal. Now in our upgraded code, we are reading the file from the GCS bucket and uploading back to the GCS bucket. That is fine. If we have one or couple of files, we can give the name here. But what my requirement says, they will be getting a multiple file from multiple countries. So you exactly don't know the what will be the file name. You don't know when it will come. Okay. So you have requirement whenever any file is coming to your bucket, it will get translated and added to the your new bucket. Okay. That is our main requirement. So we have to set up this complete automation. As a cloud architect or as an engineer, what you can do this using a cloud services. So first thing, you need to understand when your file is uploaded and when you need to run your code. So when you need to run your code, so whenever there is a file in your bucket, then you need to run your code. How you can achieve this? So this is an event. So whenever file is uploaded into the bucket, that is an event, and we have event-based compute engine, that is a cloud function. Okay. So when your file is uploaded, you will trigger your cloud function. Now I will just convert all this code into the cloud function. So this is the same, no change, just cloud function has their own terminologies and events. So instead of giving bucket name, or instead of giving the file name, I will just give the event. So whenever the cloud function is triggered, it will check what is the file name. Okay. And you can say the file name it will take from the event which triggered the cloud function. I will show you. Now we have to change the bucket name. We'll just change the bucket name. So what is our bucket name? Because source bucket we have to give, the files will be coming to same bucket, and file name we don't need to give. Where is my bucket? I'll just give translate source. And now I will create a new bucket, translate destination. Then I will create my cloud function. Okay, so now this is my cloud function code. It will just, instead of giving the file name, it will read from the event, and we have requirement.txt. This file is needed, so will just remove these versions. It should take the latest. I'll just remove this because we have to give this cloud function. These are our dependencies. If I missed, I'll share you that, because in my system I keep working on the Python, so I might not get error for these dependencies, but these are the dependencies required to run our code. We have to add this in a cloud function. So I'll go back now to my Google Cloud, and I will go to cloud function. And I'll try to create a cloud function which will automate our complete process. Okay, and we'll try a complex files as well. So this is not something that we are only checking with the one-liner file. No, we will be trying with the more complex file kind of forms, all things we need to track. So I'll just, okay, first we need to create one more bucket. So this is AA translate source. Let me create AA translate destination. So go back to here. So I'll create one more bucket. AA. This and change to destination. So here we'll have all translated files. Why we are not keeping the same bucket? Because we are triggering the cloud function whenever there is a new file. If we put file again back to the same bucket, our function will run in a loop. It will continuously keep running in the loop, because every translated file, if you are putting in the same bucket, there will be new event. So I am putting the translated file back to another bucket. And that is again the best practice to keep your original file separate. Okay, let me change the bucket name in the code as well. I had somewhere the destination bucket. Okay, I think this should be a destination bucket, because source bucket it is getting from the event. So we don't need to give the source bucket, we just need to give the destination bucket. So I missed it 2 minutes back. Okay, so here I'm giving the destination bucket. Now let me go to the, I'll keep these two bucket as it is just to check. I'll keep the open source bucket as well. I'll just remove everything from this for now. I'll just, okay, now put buckets are empty, and now I'll create my cloud function. I'm just being too slow because I just want each things to be covered from the simple steps, so that where this video might get longer, but you will get understanding of how things work, how Gemini will work, how we can create the cloud function. And this cloud function is recently renamed to cloud run function. So if you are trying to search for cloud function and you are not getting, don't worry. So this is just a recent name change if you are new to Google Cloud. So I'll just go and create function. Let me check which Python I used here. So I'll check the same Python 3.8. I'll choose the 3.8 here as well. I'll just give the name Gemini. Here I will choose the same as my bucket region, so which is South Carolina. And trigger type, this is important. So here you have to give from the storage, and this is v1.finalize. It means the event of newly added file. So keep in mind you have to select this one. and then you select your bucket. So here I will select my source bucket. Any files uploaded into the source bucket will trigger my cloud function. So that is the trigger I set here. I will go to next where we have to configure our code. So I will go and select Python 3.8 as I said. It is deprecated, but it will still have the support 14th October because Python will keep releasing the new version. For now, no need to worry. It is still available. We'll just copy this code just here. And one more thing, so this is our entry function. So this you have to put because this is the calling all other functions. So we'll just keep the translate PDF function at the entry point. Then we have the requirement.txt. We'll just put all the requirement. So when we deploy the function, it will download all these requirement. Let me just change one thing. Let me just cancel for a second. Okay, let me create from scratch. I missed one line there. Again, I will create translate Gemini. I will create quickly this time. You understood what we have to select. We have to select bucket in trigger. Next, select 3.8. In main.py, I'll just paste my code, and this translate PDF will be our entry point. And in requirement.txt, we have all our dependencies which are required to run our code. Okay, so these are the things we are using to work with the Python to read the Python files, to create new Python files from the translated text. We are using this. Okay. So now all things are here. I'll try to deploy the function. If it throw an error, no need to worry. You just check the logs and you will find why it is throwing an error. In cloud function, usually you will see a deployment errors, deployment failure, but this time it should not fail. Let's see. Let's wait here. So it will take a couple of minutes to get it deployed. Okay, my function is successfully deployed in the first attempt without any error. So that is completely fine. Earlier I faced one error and that I resolved earlier. So I already had the sorted code. But if you are trying any new function and you face failure, just check the errors, check the cloud build log, and you will understand why it is failing. Okay, now our function is ready. I'll just keep the log opens and I'll just start adding the file. So now our complete flow should work. If I upload any files in the source, it will just translate and add the file in the destination bucket. So it doesn't matter what is your input language. Let me go back and again check what was our language for destination. I might change it. Oh, okay, we are using German. That is fine. So anything we are giving, it will change to German language. So it doesn't matter you are putting in English, French, Hindi, it will just convert in the German and then add in the destination. Okay. So let me add one sample file first to test, which we have sample PDF, which is one liner. So let's try that. At least we should understand if our cloud function is triggering correctly and it is working fine. Okay. So I'll just refreshed and it will immediately start your cloud function. So that is very fast. Here sometimes log takes time, but your function will automatically. Okay, I'm refreshing the wrong thing. And if I go to destination, you already see the file here. Yeah, so translated sample, it's already here. And let's verify our file if we translate it to German. Yeah, it is translated to German. So now let's put something complex, okay? Let me check if I have something complex. Yeah, so I have this annexure A form which is in English. This is kind of one passport form I was using while filling the passport. So you can see this is in completely English, all central government employees and all these things. So this, if I upload, it should convert as it is, just like using this blank spaces and everything, it should work. Let's see if it works or not, okay? I'll just upload the file in my source bucket. So it's not only work for single file or small file, it will work for larger file as well. And it should not take much time as well. Let's see. So my file is uploaded here. Let's go to Gemini. So this is giving some memory error, but yeah, it is working fine because just I'm using the small one. I don't need even the larger one, so that is fine. If I have very high number of files, I can just select the large memory. But for now, it is completely fine for me. Just to go back in destination bucket, and if I'll see, I have a new file, annexure A translated. Yeah, I have this file. And let me just see if this complete form is translated to German and have the same format, just like the blanks and everything. Yeah, you can see it's completely translated to German. All kind of file it will just translate to. I'll just try any more file if I have. I think we should be good because we already covered. Okay, I have one Marathi file. Okay, I'll just upload this as well, and let's see if it will work for that as well. So it is just additional thing we're trying. It should definitely work. So, this, and now it should also get translated. Okay, and let's check in the destination bucket. It will take few seconds only, and we'll see the file here. Now it will have double translated because earlier original file name has translated one. Yeah, it converted that file as well. So you can see any file, if any files are coming to a source bucket, it will cloud function will pick this file, it will trigger the code, it will contact Gemini API, it will fetch the translated text from Gemini API, it will just put in the PDF and it will upload that PDF back to the storage bucket. If you have the complex PDF which contains the box and graphs and all these things, then you just need to play with the Python libraries for PDF and you will get the exact same result just in the translated format. But mainly here, my purpose was to show how we can integrate the AI stuff as well in our data pipeline. So earlier also I worked on one of the data pipeline where we worked on the sentiment analysis from the text messages or from the support chart. You can see that project as well. That is also one amazing project. You can learn from that project. So this project now we have already completed. We perform all these steps and now we have end-to-end project available. So I will share all my codes. I will share the link of this code. I will either share the Git repo or the zip file and I will put in the description for your reference. You can use that code. And while implementing this project, if you just stuck somewhere, just let me know in the comment section or you can ping me on LinkedIn. My details are available in descriptions. Okay. So thank you. Thank you for watching this video and we'll see you again in one of the amazing video. Thank you and see you again.